Hey guys, this is Rome with Houston Professional Photography. I'm answering an email I received earlier this week, and one of the guys that are following me on Facebook asked, how do I set up for the background videos that I shoot during the time that I'm doing maybe on location or demonstrational videos. And here's a very simple rig that is very inexpensive to put together. You can find most of these components either starting shopping for them online or maybe in your local camera store. So what I have here to start with is a Steadicam type of a camera stabilizer that I got from a local camera store slash technology store, which here in Houston is Micro Center. Now this is $49, which is about $50 US, and what it comes with is a bracket system which basically helps you stabilize your video. And if you can see here on the back, sorry about the reflection guys, I'm recording with my iPhone, and you can see how it's being utilized using the video light. And here's some little sample photos that they have from the device. Now, after purchasing this, the bracket came with a demonstration video, which personally was a very poorly put together video because all it really shows is a bunch of guys riding around on skateboards and bicycles and jumping all over the place, but it never really gives any explanation as to how to use the device other than, you know, some basic configurations that you can kind of figure out on your own. So what I came up with was something that would combine this with a few other things that I just had around the studio, things that I use in photography, so on and so on. Now, this rig is basically designed for an assistant to be able to capture video during the time that you're shooting, to get the B-roll, you know, things like that. Now, when you look at the bracket itself, this is assembled, and each component of this comes apart. So if you look at this top rod, there's a screw and a bolt that goes inside here, and simply assembled by placing the screw through the bracket and securing it in place. Now, what's unique about this part of it is that this rotates, which kind of gives you the flexibility to be able to rotate your bracket, something like that. Or if you're doing some type of, you know, weird panning, I don't know what you'd use that for, but that's basically what it's done for. This hand grip here at the back assembles basically the same way. Now, one of the things that you'll notice, depending on how you configure this one, is that it has a notch cut out of the top of it where a light or microphone or something could attach inside of it. So if you were placing it in this direction, then you would be able to attach a light or something like that to it. Well, I decided not to go that route, so what I did was I assembled it this way, which kind of gives you a rear hand control to be able to control the direction, the movement, and so on. Now, I attached a second bracket, which you can find in almost any camera store, and what this has on it is two different slots for either a light, a microphone, two lights, whatever your configuration would be. And so what I did with that was I attached it here to the bottom of this bracket, and I'll attach that and show you what that looks like. So if you can see there now, when that's locked in place, it gives you hand control here, here, as well as here to be able to control the small bracket. Now, on the bottom of this is a screw that has the, if you can see that right there, you can attach this to a tripod mount and then place this on a tripod when needed. And if you don't need it, you know, on a quick release tripod, you can just take it off and then move around and shoot your video however you need to. Now, as far as the lighting goes, we found these lights. It's kind of a universal light. It doesn't produce a lot of power. It's probably about maybe 50 watts, something like that, but that's enough, you know, for field light. And it has two adapters. One is for your wall plug, and the other one, which I'm not using here for this specific light, also works with the power pack. And your power pack is this big weighted battery. It has a waist belt that you're going to, you know, put this around your waist or a shoulder strap, depending on how you'd like to hold it. Now this gets a little heavy after a while, so I would recommend using it with the waist belt. I'm going to get this out of the way. So what we have left here basically is our bracket and our light configuration. So what you can do here is you can attach this light in a hot shoe tray, and it will just lock in place like so. So now you have light, and then, of course, obviously, you're going to need your camera. So the camera itself affixes near the front. And there's a bolt supplied for that as well. So once you have that in place, you basically have a configuration something like this. And you would be able to see your monitor. If you're using an external monitor or a secondary monitor, you can probably place that somewhere as well. Or use an additional bracket. The microphone can go off to the side in a configuration similar to this. Or you could just place it over the camera. Now what I have noticed, if you place it over the camera, the light has a tendency to cast a shadow. So what I like to do is just either throw the microphone here off to the side, and then you would wrap your cable, you know, around, depending on the configuration of your camera and where it plugs in. On this specific model, it plugs in the front. So let me see if I can get that done. And you have something similar to this. So that would be pretty much your end result. And it's very lightweight, you know, so obviously someone can use this bracket for support, this bracket here to lift. You know, I wouldn't recommend that because it's going to turn a little bit, but you know, you have that as well. Or you could even take this bolt and apply it underneath if you wanted to use it in a form, you know, in some type of form factor like that. I like this a little bit better because you have a little bit better control, and you can also use the back of this somewhat as a chest brace, and you can brace it up against yourself to get a little bit more stability when you're shooting your video. Anyway, guys, like I said, I just want to make this a really short video to answer one of the emails that I received this week that kind of describes a simple setup for a video application that you would be able to use on location, break down easily, drop it into a camera bag, and you're, you know, down the road. Again, this is Rome with Houston Professional Photography. I want to thank you guys for taking time to check out this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.